So a recent concept got introduced to me, and it has nothing to do actually with music licensing or the music business, but I think it really pertains to the music business, and I think it pertains to musicians specifically. And the concept is that there might be a way to categorize most people into two different groups, okay? Generalities here, of course. You have to speak in generalities when you're grouping the entire planet into two different groups, okay? But generally, I'm starting to think that this is holding some weight. There are two different groups of musicians, producers, people, entrepreneurs, whatever you want to call it. Doesn't matter. The first type are people that believe that they are primarily responsible for their own success in life, whether it's the music business, whether it's in their business, whether it's in their job or their relationships or anything successful in life. They take ownership, they take responsibility for it, and they believe that they can actually, to a large extent, control that, or at least have some sort of influence over their success. The second type is those that believe that their future success, how much money they make, how well they do in the music business, how successful they are generally, has to do with the actions of other people, right? So no matter how hard they work, if they're just not lucky enough to be somebody's nephew or uncle, or, you know, have a connection somewhere, or sort of have somebody that bestowed them millions of dollars in a trust fund or whatever, they weren't born on the right side of town, they don't have the right skin color, they don't have the right gender, whatever the issue is, they just believe, well, I'm always going to be at the sort of the mercy of more powerful people that control my destiny, and I need them to be nicer and more like sort of philanthropic towards me, or at least give me more stuff, give me more of a shot, more openings in order for me to succeed. And if they don't do that, I can't, because I don't really control my destiny. I don't really control what my future is. I really do think a lot of the world can kind of split right down the middle. And I bet if you're watching this right now, you're probably agreeing with one or the other. I don't think there's anybody in the middle that goes, well, it kind of depends. Sometimes, no. I bet there's some of you that are like, yeah, absolutely. I'm going to take control of my career. I'm going to take control of my future, and I'm going to do something great. And there might be some of you that's like, the industry's stacked against me. It's just unfair. There's no way that I can get ahead because I'm just not getting, I'm not getting any shots, any chances. Everybody says no to me. So obviously it's because I don't have connections like, you know, Jesse has or somebody else has. Like maybe that's where you are and that's what you're thinking. Okay. And I'm not trying to judge. Okay. So I want you to get that, you know, I know it might seem like I am, but these are two different perspectives. Obviously, you guys know that I probably line up with the first one, apparently. I mean, that's pretty obvious. But the second one, you might have seen and actually been faced with rejections that were completely out of your control. Why? Because I've had rejections that were completely out of my control as well. Been said no to by companies that I wish would have picked me up, and I've not been able to work with people that I wanted to. And sometimes I've seen people who just have relatives in the business get further ahead than me because they've got a relative in the business. So I know that absolutely exists. So I'm not trying to bash you if that's how you feel, okay? But I do want to point something out. So, you know, with these two kind of general, very general categories in mind, I want to point something out. Let's, just for the sake of argument, just grant it that your success is completely dependent upon the actions of other people, whether or not, you know, the industry gives you a shot, or regulations are fair enough for you, or I don't know, you know, it really does. Let's just give you that like your success has nothing to do with your actions and how you move forward in life. And you really are sort of just at the whims of more powerful people in the industry. Let's assume that's true. Okay. Does that motivate you to want to work harder? I mean, maybe some of you it does, I guess, because you want to say, well, I'm going to show them that they can't hold me down. Hey, if that's where you can go with it, go with that, because that's going to give you all that motivation and energy to push through maybe what you think you can't control, right? But if I felt that way, I'm just trying to put myself in the shoes of somebody who would feel that way, that like my success completely depends on somebody with more power giving me nice things or being open to me or whatever, right? And there's really nothing I can do to change that or kind of earn anything in life. It just comes down to if somebody's going to hand me something to give me that success. Man, I would feel really defeated. I would feel like, what's the point? Like, why? I mean, literally, seriously, like legitimately, what's the point? Like I'm always trying to think, okay, so in that mindset, it's almost like your success is like a lottery. It's just like, well, if you get lucky, right, and you kind of just pick the right numbers, you'll become successful in life. If that were my philosophy, man, I mean, I guess I could keep buying lottery tickets and hope one day I get the winning one, but after a while, the odds stack up against me. I'm not winning. I'm going to the gas station every day and buying that ticket, and I never win. I don't know. I mean, eventually, I think I just give up. I just say, well, what's the point? Like, the chances are 1 in a billion, 1 in a million, and like, I just don't have, what it takes. I just don't think I'm going to get lucky enough or have the ins to be able to succeed. And that's what I wonder, like, if somebody it feels that way about the world, just in general, not just necessarily even about the music business, just about the world. If that's how you feel, doesn't that completely kill your motivation? Like, to just go, what would be the point if that's the way the world is working? If it's a complete lottery system as to who succeeds and who doesn't. I don't know. Those are just kind of my first instincts on it. Now, if you are feeling that way about the world, that it's completely up to other people whether or not you succeed, imagine you just faked it a little bit and pretended like the world was the other way, right? Let's pretend that you actually had some power, right? Assuming that the truth is that you don't. The truth is that you can't control anything, but just pretend like you do. Just pretend like you can actually affect the outcome of your life by working harder, by being more consistent, by, taking the time to, whatever you need to do. Up your production game, up your mixing skills, up your mastering skills, whatever it is that you feel like you're lacking in, you just take ownership of it and go for it. Do you really think you wouldn't be closer to success by even just faking with that mentality? I mean, this might be a little bit convoluted and kind of maybe confusing. I'm sorry if you're not keeping up with it. I could probably be a little bit clearer in how I'm explaining this. But basically, I'm saying, like, what do you have to lose even if you are not believing that this is how the world is, but just pretending like it is that way, right? What do you really have to lose by just pretending that you can actually make a difference in your future career, that you can actually have a lot of power and influence and how well you do in the long run, no matter your gender, your race, your gender, everything, right? No matter anything, born in the wrong side of town, born to a poor family, born to whatever, no matter what you feel that your stumbling block is in life, or that, like, well, that's why I can't get ahead because I have this thing. If you were just to put that aside and just pretend that you can do it, and you have a lot of power, what do you have to lose by believing in that? Even if you think that it's a lie and it's not actually true, what do you really have to lose? Because I'm only conjecturing here and thinking about it, but I would think that would only empower you, right? That would only make you work extra hard and really want to sort of prove maybe the stereotype wrong. Maybe there is a stereotype that you think that whoever you are, you can't succeed. Wouldn't there be a little bit of a fire in your belly to be like, no, I'm not going to accept that other people control my destiny. I'm going to prove the stereotype wrong. I'm going to punch through this thing. I'm going to get there, right? It seems to me like you had nothing to lose to just pretend that that's the way the world is. Now, I don't think that I'm pretending that that's the way the world is. I do actually, honestly, sincerely believe that I have definitely created a lot of my own success. I don't think that was just a lot of luck and things were handed to me, because I'm in this industry, in the licensing business. I've been 100% judged on my music. That's it. Not my age, not my race, not my name, not that I'm a male, none of that stuff, okay? They've gotten my tracks. They've said, these are cool. We're going to license these. And then I signed a contract, and then I kept giving them good tracks. That's been my relationship with most people in this business. There has been no interviews where they want to see my resume or see what I look like in person or any of that kind of stuff, okay? They just go, you got good music, and are you going to work? Are you going to be dependable? Can we rely on you? Cool. You're a player. You're in. It's the most non-judgmental industry I think I've ever seen on planet Earth. I mean, most industries, like, if you've got money, you can be a player. That's kind of like, green obviously is the only color most people care about. But in the music licensing business, it's like high quality music is all they really care about. It's just one of those things where it's a great thing to be a part of, and I love doing it. But I see a lot of, and I don't know, and I've seen this kind of happening throughout my entire life, is this sort of divide between people who are feeling self-empowered and going, wow, I've got like all these technological tools to make myself succeed. And there's another half that's really feeling like powerless, like I can't do anything to get ahead. It's really not up to me. It's because I'm disadvantaged. It's because the industry didn't help me. It's just because nobody gave me a shot. It's because, and I'm seeing this really big divide happening in humanity. And I can't control that. I can't do anything about that. But I will just caution you, if you're watching this channel and you kind of get my philosophy and my work ethic and stuff, you don't want to be on the side that feels that they can't get ahead and they have nothing to do to control their destiny. Like, that's not a winning team you want to be a part of. It's just, trust me, that is not the place you want to be, especially moving forward as technology is allowing more and more people to become successful at music licensing or start their businesses or whatever they want to do. Even if you don't believe this, even if you don't believe that you have a lot of power, just fake and pretend that you have a lot of power. You literally have nothing to lose by believing that, okay? So anyways, a long, convoluted rant. I don't know if I made any sense there. Maybe I offended a lot of you. So be it. I really do stand by what I said, though, if you understood it. And if you didn't understand it, please like and make sure you do subscribe to my channel. Thank you.